give us a broad sense of how people should be thinking in these crazy, crazy times, as I call them.
Yes, Ryan, it is crazy times indeed. As I often promote on my Instagram account is we have to adopt a healthy mindset. And the one that I really like is called the I get to mindset. So imagine all the things that you find yourself saying every day, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to stay at home with my children. Now say, I get to stay at home with my children. I have to go find a new job. I get to go find a new job. Just changing that one word allows us to be more positive and also recognize and be grateful for what we already have.
Talk to me about being positive and how impactful that can be to your wallet as well.
Absolutely. Mental health impacts your financial health, as I often like to promote. It's so important for us to invite abundance into our lives, to say that I get to go out and earn money and I get to learn to save money. So in this environment today, for example, let's say that some of you may be suffering a potential loss of income or maybe looking at some rough times ahead. Now is the time to, I get to save money. For example, take a look at all of your expenses and be mindful of where all your bills are due and where your money is going.
And Shung, of course, it can seem insurmountable right now. Your bills continue to keep coming in, but your wages, you could be underemployed. Your hours could have been cut back, so you're not making as much money. You could have been laid off. For those people right now considering what to do next, how to continue paying your bills, are loans a good idea right now?
Before I talk about loans, I would say just think about broader terms. There are a lot of things being done by the state and federal government to provide people with some relief. I would say before you go and make any quick decisions, take stock of all of your bills, your housing, your transportation, your food, for example. There are some discretionary things that you can probably cut first, considering, for example, maybe taking on a housemate or moving back home or continuing to make your food at home instead of eating out. As for loans, if you have existing loans, consider calling up the loan processor and see if they can give you a moratorium on your fees, if they can give you a little bit of relief, a couple months of delayed payments, and also consider looking at the fact that if you do decide to take out more loans, it's only going to hurt later on in life. Taking out loans to cover more expenses now might sound like a really great idea, but it can hurt. I'd rather you focus on cutting back expenses first.
And Shung, that seems to be one of those things too, where you would make a quick decision instead of a potentially smart one. And it's amazing too, in your experience, how do companies react in times like this? If a consumer called a car company and said, hey, obviously in these times, is there something I can work out with my bill? If an energy company, potentially to keep the lights on, is there something I can work out with you? It's amazing how these companies will work with the consumer in times like this on getting your bills paid and all of that, right?
It is. We are all in this together. I think, across the economy, there's going to be a lot of impact to many individuals and companies alike. And companies would like to keep their customers as much as they can. So it never hurts to ask. It never hurts to pick up that phone and see if a deal can be made.
Shung Saavedra, Save My Cents. You can follow her on Instagram and Facebook. Great advice from you. Looking at your background, the Harvard and University of Chicago, a couple of pretty good degrees that you have there.
Thank you.
You bet. All right. Save My Cents.